Hi, I'm Connie Ragen Green from ConnieRagenGreen.com, and today I'm here with Cheryl A Major, and we're going to talk about all things related to being thin, strong, and healthy. That's her site, thinstronghealthy.com. I was first connected with Cheryl in a mastermind group back in 2009, 2010, or 2010, I guess we say. And I was really attracted to you because of your passion around health and wellness and eating and the story that you began sharing with us. So welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you, Connie. It's great to be here with you.
So tell me about how you got started, because you had gone through a period of time. I don't want to take your story. I want you to tell the story, but you had gone through a period of time that wasn't so happy for you in your life. And with kind of an accident, helping someone else, you figured out something that changed your life completely. And now you're devoting your life to helping other people with similar situations. So tell us about that.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. I became depressed when I was 12 years old and kind of dragged depression around. It got better. It got worse. My sister died. It was horrible. I got horribly depressed. Then you kind of level off. And this went on up and down and back and forth. And then in about, I think it was 2012, my husband developed some reaction to a medication he was on. He was on a statin, and it was causing really bad side effects. And we had to get him off that. And that meant that we had to get his cholesterol normalized. And it was also driving him toward type 2 diabetes. So it was sugar and it was cholesterol. So we discovered Mark Hyman and read his blood sugar solution, listened to something he had on PBS, and I completely changed how I eat. And, long story short, he did better. And within a few months, I realized I wasn't depressed anymore. And what really made me realize that something had changed was I was selling my family home, which I did not want to do. And I thought I would be curled up in a ball, sucking my thumb in the corner. And I was functional. I mean, I was sad, but I was appropriately sad. And anyone who's ever been depressed will understand when I say sad or appropriate, depressed or appropriately sad. So I kind of ripped the Band-Aid off, and I stopped eating gluten and sugar and processed foods and dairy. And I dropped weight too, because I was so restrictive. And I was able to kind of build back up so that I can eat more widely. But it's been a huge rebirth for me. And I've maintained this for more than 10 years. It's a slippery slope with eating. We're very married to our food choices, and food gives us great joy. And the holidays can be seductive, and you can start going down a path that it makes you feel not so well. And I've learned that when I do that, I tighten up on my diet, and it really helps me bring myself back. So my goal with my online business is to help other people, whether they need to rip the Band-Aid off or whether they need to do it slowly. I find a lot of people, and this has been kind of a learning experience for me. I was very hardcore, and you know this, we've had these conversations. I was this is how you do it, this is how you don't do it. And there was no gray area in between. And I found that in order to help more people, I've had to find that gray area, and I've had to learn to massage the things that people can do and change. So it ends up being pushing something not so desirable off your plate and replacing it with something that's good for you, and doing that over time until you can really make a lifestyle change.
All right. Okay. So let me ask you, what are you eating? So is it nuts and berries and wild plants and flowers? What is it you're eating?
Chewing on twigs. Well, I'll give you, for instance, one of my standbys is a wild rice, black rice, lentil, and bean mixture that I make. And I keep that in the fridge all the time. I use that very frequently as part of my breakfast, and I'll have some smoked salmon over that, or some mackerel that I take out of a tin. And I'll have, and I also use it on salads. So I'll have it for dinner sometimes too. It's good for bulk. It's good for fiber. I mean, I don't lack fiber, that's for sure. But breakfast will be that rice mixture. It will be some smoked salmon. It will be some fresh fruit, berries, mango, banana with coconut yogurt. I found this wonderful coconut yogurt that I love. It actually tastes like yogurt and gives me the acidophilus. So it gives me my probiotics that I want to have for a healthy gut system. So, I don't suffer. And I mean, I went out for ice cream the other day, regular old ice cream. Because you eat to be well doesn't mean that you can't treat yourself. It means that it needs to be a treat, and it needs to be not an everyday thing. And I've been trying to do portion control lately because my honesty pants were telling me the truth, and they were telling me that my portions were too big. And
So my mouth waters now when you describe that with the wild rice and the salmon and everything that you talk about and everything, but it wasn't always that way. I had to really acquire a taste for it. So when you work with people, sometimes they come to you, and if they show you what they've eaten in the past few days, they might have had like a ham and cheese on whole wheat. It's healthy because it's on whole wheat, they'll say, right? With lots of mayo slathered all over, and who knows what's in something that would actually be called mayonnaise these days. I don't know. And then they'd have a side of French fries, and then maybe a malted milkshake on the side or something. So with people like that, you're pretty much they're out on the ledge. You're having to walk them back in, and they kneel down and come in through the window so they can meet you someplace. Because I mean, I wasn't eating so much. Well, no, I take that back. I was eating horribly. I really was, but I didn't think of it that way, because I would say, but what do you mean? It was like special kind of cheese, like low fat cheese or something. And it had lettuce and tomato on the sandwich. How could it have been bad? And I got the whole wheat bread, not even understanding the difference between whole wheat and whole grain and all this, and gluten and things like that. So how do you work with somebody to really just get them started in a way where they won't say, I can't do this. I'm starving and I don't like anything I'm eating?
I have had people say, this is too hard. I can't do this.
Yeah.
So I guess we talk about, initially, we focus on the goals. The question would be, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to back off from pre-diabetes? Are you on metformin for diabetes? Are you trying to get off that? Do you want to lose weight? Do you just want to try to preserve your brain health and function? Is there Alzheimer's, dementia in your family? Kind of focus on goals, and then talk about the best steps to take. And this is an ever evolving process, because back when I was 28, which is more than a few years ago, I got Beth Israel, I think, is where I went for that diet. And I saw a dietitian, and they told me to eat whole wheat bread instead of white bread. And that's just wrong. It's just wrong. But we've evolved. So it's making suggestions, finding out how much people can tolerate for change, and where their breaking point is.
Okay, I love that. I love that. All right, so I know you also you have courses and classes, and you also work privately with people. Where can people find you, Cheryl?
They can find me at thinstronghealthy.com. And there is, if they're interested in private coaching, there's a coaching with Cheryl section there. There are recipes there. I've got posts there. I've got resources with some of my books. I've written a couple of books, and other wonderful books that are there that I've used to help me in my journey. So thinstronghealthy.com is probably the best place to find me, and definitely best place to reach me.
Well, thank you so much, Cheryl. I know you've got me on track, and now I embrace salads and all kinds of things that I didn't think that I would embrace nearly as much. So thank you so much.
Been my
I've
pleasure.
enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank you for the opportunity.